Good evening, investors. It's happy to meet you once again. This week we are planning to take up a topic why business persons are not very keen on diversifying their investments. We often come across the business people always saying that, especially the small and medium people, always comes and say that I don't want to invest in any other investments. If I invest in my own business, I can get more returns. It could be true. The internal rate of return, a businessman knows better than outsiders. But at the same time, return is only criteria for any investments. When you look back the histories, we prove that putting all eggs in one basket is not a great idea. It has been proved several times also. So whenever you look for an investments or diversification, the return is not the only criteria with which you should start investing anywhere. We often see that the business runs into rough cycle certain point in time. When all your monies are only in the business, what do? You have to try to borrow from outside. If the turnaround times is getting elongated, then your borrowing cost will goes up, the interest returns goes up, your profitability will get impacted. This is what a typical case happens. When I was just traveling sometime, I had an opportunity to meet one of the leading hotelier. During the conversation, I just asking about how the business and all that. He was trying to share me that during the pandemic, he was giving a credit to one of the entity for supplying of foods. Supplied for quite long time due to this the cash flow in their another company. They are not able to repay whatever the money they have taken, whatever the food they have taken, they are not able to repay the money. So they were keep on dragging. These people are also, whatever the money they have left, they are using it a working capital to pump that. The inflows for them also, the hotelier also is restricted. But anyhow, you have to meet the commitment, so he was borrowing from outside and trying to meet. So what happened, this process has slightly got elongated due to this, because it is initially as a pandemic, then turned epidemic, then became pandemic. So the longevity of cycle for hoteliers have gone into big cycle. They are not able to get walk-in clients, walk-in customers was not there. So in turn, their cash flows, daily cash flows business has got impacted. You and me know that hotel business is a cash flow business. So they get a cash flow in advance, then they try to spend. Because of this pandemic, the footfalls have been reduced drastically. The couple of months their overheads have not reduced, but the outflows are being keep on going out. So due to that, what happened that he told me that I borrowed a lot of outside and then I settled. The end of the day, when I calculated, despite I got a huge order, they have not made money. So this point in time, I want to understand, whenever they as a business person, you should always think that when you are trying to do diversified, there are a couple of aspects you should keep in mind. One is meeting an emergency fund. So every business, any business can undergo a pain point. That point in time, you need some external support to see that it has been driving. So when you create an emergency fund, that will allow you to meet the eventualities like this, like a pandemic. We are not able to open your hotel for a couple of months time. So you can able to use that emergency fund as a backup to run your business entity. Also, when you have some amount of investments outside of your hotel business, you are trying to invest in stocks or mutual funds, all that, you should never think of you are buying a stock. You should think always you are buying a business. When you think you are buying a business, it's also a diversification. Rather than you are in hotel business, when you are trying to buy some equity, it will be, could be in a real estate, could be in an automobile, could be in pharma, could be in IT, could be any different industries. When you invest in another industry, that is also going to give a return, but probably not equivalent to the hotel business. Probably it gives a very fabulous return. So when you think that you want to see your business trouble free and it's keep growing over a period of time, you definitely need to have an habit of looking outside of your business to start diversifying. See, as typically last year, if somebody could have been invested in 2020 like that, they diversified apart from the hotel business. The hotel business was shut for at least for 3-4 months. From March to July, August, I don't think we have opened in a big level. And they had a surplus, we diverted that money back into some of the investments, which has been continuing. So the equity has given 60-70% return, gold has given 30-40% of return. So when you back to business, if you need money, you could have withdraw something from his existing investments and then could have used to back up as for his hotel business. I am not trying to refer only for hotel business. Any business person, I am trying to suggest you that you just calculate what is the running expenses for 3 to 6 months of time, at least try to build an alternate investments towards that and build it across. In the eventuality you are not able to meet your the required commitments, you can use the emergency funds to diversify and do that. And typically we also see that the people normally, the way they understand their investments into business, that is where they think the world operates. But technically the world doesn't operate like that. World operates its own technology, with its money is growing to a different perspective and dimensions. But as a business person, or the person, I grow with certain amount of idea about the money. I always think that money grows or operates in the same typical fashion, but it is not like that. As we are open to ideas and open your ears, you know that the money works in a different dimension for different people. So as a business person, you should open up your eyes and ears to see how the world of money operates outside of your business. Thanks for listening to me. If you like this video, please subscribe. We'll meet some other video. Bye from Suresh Parsadi.